Today I'm going to animation and there's an like it's behind. Hey, welcome to the making of / behind the scenes of the Temple Run in real life video. Today I'm going to talk to you about how we filmed it and also did the VFX for this video. Here's a quick VFX breakdown where you can see what the footage looked like without the effects in comparison to the final shots. So it was basically Jan just running around pretending to be chasing the demon monkey. The next step was to match move the footage. So the software basically analyzes the shot and tries to figure out how the camera must have moved. We then render our 3D models through this camera and the CG elements will perfectly match the moving scene. The next thing was to animate the demon itself. Blender is a really good 3D animation program and you can do a lot of cool things with it. So to get the model running, I placed a chain of bones inside the mesh, and then when you move the bones, the creature moves as well. You can keyframe these movements and that's how you create your animation. Once the animation was done, I had to put it back into the real world, so I exported the animation as an OBJ 3D model sequence, which I could then bring into a really great program called Element 3D. Here I set up my lights and composite the CG onto my footage with depth of field, motion blur and all that good stuff. Some shots, it was better to render out the creature directly from the 3D program. So this animation is a video with an alpha channel, so you can readily drop it onto a scene. However, you need to make sure that the shadows and the ambient occlusion is also contained in this render. You can do this by adding a floor plane and turning on shadow catcher, and also the transparent option in the render settings. Then you get this realistic looking render which has all the lighting, shadows, ambient occlusion and an alpha channel, which is really useful for compositing. You can then start rendering and the files will get saved as an image sequence. It took about 1 minute per frame, so there are 24 frames every second. So that would be about 24 minutes for every second. Once that is done, I put it back over the footage in After Effects and it begins to look more believable. Now it's important to add motion blur, and there's an effect called pixel motion blur which automatically calculates how fast the subject is moving and blurs it out appropriately. At this stage, the creature is no longer a 3D model, but instead just a 2D layer, so if you rotate it on the y-axis, you'll see that it's just a flat layer. Sometimes your model might have to go behind a real-world object, so I place a solid layer there and mask it, and tell the animation layer to occlude itself in that area, so it looks like it's behind that pole. After all the effects are done, I put them back into the edit in DaVinci Resolve, and once my picture is locked, I add in all the sound effects and the music and also color grade the film. You can independently tweak the color values of the highlights, midtones and shadows and really give the video an artistic look depending on the mood of the scene. here are some shots which didn't make it into the final film. Yep, that was nice.
Really? Yes, you can send a helicopter, I guess. You have to cut off the,
Got it,
part, the
yes.
helicopter part, maybe. I'm not that big actor.
Last shot. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I hope it helped you understand what goes into making VFX videos like these. Be sure to check out the main video if you haven't seen it yet. And if this is the first video of ours you're watching, check out our other videos and consider subscribing. And we'll see you in the next video. See ya.